High FM, 101.9 megahertz of life.
Meta, the parent company of Facebook, is facing serious allegations in South Africa after claims that the platform's advertising systems have been used to promote scams, fraudulent investment schemes, and other misleading content targeting local consumers. Critics have argued that while social media platforms have become indispensable for communication and business, they also carry a growing responsibility to protect users from sophisticated online fraud. The controversy raises broader questions about platform accountability, artificial intelligence, and online advertising. To help us understand the technology, the cybersecurity implications, we're joined by Dr. Wai Zse Leung, an expert at the Academy for Computer Science and Software Engineering at the University of Johannesburg. Dr. Leung, a very, very warm welcome and welcome back. I hope you are well.
Good morning, Howard, and to your listeners. I'm great.
How big a problem is this?
So you will see that there are a lot. I'm sure you've also experienced certain people reach out to you and just drop a single hello, and you're thinking, who is this? You know, this isn't a person in my contact. And maybe you might be curious enough to respond and say hello or yes, and then they initiate the rest of the conversation, and then they try to sell you something, or they try and say, oh no, it's one of your friends. My number has changed, and by the way, would you mind lending me 3,000 rand? Those sorts of messages have been doing rounds.
Right. But where does the responsibility lie? Does it lie with them, or does it lie with us to not be stupid?
Well, I think it is a combination of both because, as you know, Meta, the company WhatsApp does give you the option to report such calls. I think some people just tend to go, roll their eyes and say, I'm just going to block this number at the end. But I tend to try and report all of these as quickly as possible. But partially the problem is also it's very easy for you to get a new number, as you can imagine here in South Africa. So it's like whack-a-mole. You block this number, and then someone else gets another number, and then they try again, all over again.
It's what are the other scams that we are seeing come through?
Well, during COVID, one of the really popular ones was what they call pig slaughtering. So it's the whole thing of fattening a pig and the pig being you, the victim.
Right.
So they targeted very lonely people, and they would make pretend to be, it's a wrong number, get you talking, and then they strike up a friendship with you, and then over a course of time they will then say, you and I are friends. I feel awkward talking to you about this, but I've got this problem, and I actually owe lots of money, and would you mind sending me some money? And so that was one of the really popular ones. But it really depends on the time. Because it seems that these things grow in popularity and then it dies down, and then it revisits the cycle. So just in general, everyone has to be careful at all times and be more cautious when people reach out to you and you don't know that number, because I know that if your number's out there, I mean, nobody stops you, adding your number into a group call, for example, and then you just answer, and then it turns out, for all we know, they might just capture your voice, and then now that they've got your voice, they use it to scam other people. So maybe they get hold of your phone book, and then now they've got your voice. They're going to use AI to pretend to be you. Wow. And they call your mom, your dad, everyone, and just say, hi, it's Howard. I'm in an accident. It's really bad. I'm at the hospital. I need money. Please wire 3,000 rand to me ASAP. And people do fall for these things.
It's really, really just terrible. Really, it is just so awful. What responsibility now do the social media networks have? WhatsApp, the whole Meta group, really.
Yeah, so when they receive these calls about numbers being blocked and they are reported as spam, because you may notice that when you block a number, The other option is to indicate, do you want to report this business? Because everyone's signing up for a business and, account and pretending to be some company. And what we've noticed is that they do have an obligation to investigate, because obviously if it's just one person say, this is a scam, then they don't really do anything. But we have noticed that there are a number of numbers that WhatsApp has blocked and said, no, you're not allowed to use this service of ours anymore because it violates the terms and conditions of our service. But I have also seen equally there are a number of people saying that I innocently have had my number kicked off Facebook and WhatsApp, and I'm now no longer able to use it. So it is a difficult situation for WhatsApp because they might say, listen, they make their bread and butter off as many people using the number as possible. So that's the one end. So there's an incentive not to throw everyone off their system, but at the same time they do need to, as you say, if it's a known number that's a problem, they need to take corrective action.
Yeah, it's and I think we've got to be more educated, and I think we've got to be a little bit smarter with this. Don't and not get caught up. The problem is, in general, with this type of thing, it's sometimes people who are more vulnerable, maybe older people, maybe who aren't as knowledgeable about this sort of thing, who fall victim to these types of scams. So I guess maybe it's about education and finding ways to protect people as well.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, people just at this point need to be aware of what are the things people can do. So when you get a phone call out of the blue and it says, oh, it's me, I need this, be careful. I actually had a colleague who conveniently happened to go away to a place where it's very difficult to take phone calls, and they swapped her number, and then they pretended to be her for the 2 months she was away.
Oh my word!
And
that's
yeah,
crazy.
and it was, the timing was really suspect. And the person then went and said, oh no, I need money because my domestic worker needs the money, and I am obviously out of the country. And so we knew that we could confirm. It was like, yeah, we know you're out of the country. So it was easy to fall for that, for such lies.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. That is so concerning. Dr. Wai Zse Leung, thank you. As always, expert in the Academy for Computer Sciences. Have you been impacted? Have you fallen for a scam? Or has somebody tried to reach out to you to do so?